Is Nicola dead? I'm Colin and this is Harness Money, and let's talk about Nicola, the electric truck manufacturer. Just came out that their CEO, the founder of the business, is stepping down because he could have potentially lied about the technology, the capability of the car manufacturer, and of course, investors are pissed. The market is pissed. Can the company survive this scandal? Yes, this company will survive this scandal. Why? Because they have General Motors behind them. They have General Motors that has said that they will actually help manufacture this business cars, trucks, and together they will use the technology to create an electric future. And that's no small feat. Getting one of the largest auto manufacturers in the world to come with you, to be your partner, and that stands behind you. Did they actually lie about their technology? It's possible. It's possible that the founder, that the CEO made statements about the technology of the business that might not be entirely true, that they can't do exactly what they said that the products could do. The question is that we still don't know is it on the level of Theranos, of Elizabeth Holmes? Did they actually make statements about a product that is completely untrue, that it doesn't at all do what they stated that it does? I feel like it's just my opinion that Nicola does have the technology to back up their products. It might just not be as great or as advanced as they said it is. I mean, look at Tesla. Tesla is the big winner of this scandal today. The biggest competitor to this business is Tesla, and so Elon in the past has made outlandish statements about Tesla, and they have been able to deliver their products, and they still make great products, and people love their products, and they're forward thinking. Are they completely what the statements were in the beginning? Are cars autonomous right now? Not exactly, but it goes back to the definition of what exactly is the person saying and what does the words they're saying actually mean. So it all comes down to the language. Now, this goes into what is the lesson that we people, as investors, as stock buyers, as business owners, as employees, what can we learn from this scandal? Well, there's several things. Is that number one is that trends are bigger than just you and me. So when Henry Ford created the Ford automobile, as an investor, as a business person, if you were in the horse business, you were forever changed because of the automobile. Your business, your industry was forever changed. The trend was bigger than any one person. And I think that is happening with electric vehicles. The future is electric. So it's hard to say that one scandal will kill or destroy an entire industry, but you can't fight progress. A lot of times you can adapt, you can change your product, you can offer a product, maybe a nostalgic product. There's all kinds of technology that still exists today. People still make old typewriters, I was reading. They make classic typewriters even though we have computers, and that's a whole business. That's a whole line of products that people are still making. But the wave is towards the future. And so electric is the future, and Nicola is going to benefit from that wave. Now, the next thing is that this company has so much already invested in it. It's worth billions of dollars. The business doesn't even have a product on the market yet. It's still worth billions of dollars. It's kind of like, I want to say, Virgin Galactic has spaceships, but they have not actually taken anyone out into space, any consumers, any actual customers into space, but they're worth billions of dollars, and that means a lot. People aren't going to let their billions of dollars go to waste. They don't want to see that die and just be destroyed because of one single incident. And a business is not just one person. Even especially public businesses, even a solo, maybe small business isn't necessarily just one person. There's a team of people if there's money involved, if there's investors involved. In public companies, the most have multiple investors. They have multiple people invested into the future of the business, into the future success of the business, because they want to see a return on their investment, a return on their money. And Nicola has billions of dollars invested into this company that people aren't just going to let disappear. Now, let's go back to the CEO. His name is Trevor Nicola. He is the founder and CEO of this business. Now, he is worth approximately $2 billion. He has 90 million shares of Nicola, and right now it's priced at about 27. It's taken a huge hit, as it should, because it came out, of course, that all these statements that have come out, but he is going to be just fine. He is worth billions of dollars because of his shares. He owns 25% of Nicola. So even if he's not the CEO, the head dog on the totem pole, he still has a major influence, major pull. He's still going to be employed by the business. He's just not going to be named CEO. He's still going to have control of the business and be able to determine what the future lies of that business, which can be kind of good. That could actually benefit the business. They could learn from this scandal, put practices into place that will make it better in the future, that will improve the statements of the business, that will improve the business processes, maybe improve the financials of the business. And he doesn't have to do anything. That's why it kills me that some of these guys that have been struck by the movement of Me Too, or just have bad behavior and that leave their job but never get prosecuted, nothing ever happens, they just leave the company and go away. They still have millions of dollars. I'm like, they have millions of dollars and then they don't even have to go to work. It's like, gosh, what a punishment. No. It's like a real punishment would be to say, you know what, we're going to take those shares away from you and we're not going to pay you that money. It's like, that would be a real punishment. If it comes out that it's true, which we don't know if it is or not, but the company and this man will be just fine. Now, what is the biggest lesson that you and I should learn? Radical honesty. You should always be radically honest. This has been a tough lesson for me to learn, just because being honest with myself, I had to really face myself and be honest about, let's see, what type of investor I wanted to be, where I wanted to go, what type of job I wanted to have, what type of business that I wanted to build. You know, there was a time where I thought, you know what, I'm going to go into the medical field because, you know, there seems to be lots of money there. You help people, but it turns out I really don't like science. It's like, I love math, but I don't want to go sit in a biology lab for 4, 8, 12 years of my life. It's just not in me. And then I don't want to have to take medical tests for the rest of my life to continue to be in that field. It's not for me. I had to get honest with myself. I had to tell myself the truth about what it is that I am capable of and what that I want to achieve. And especially with finances, money, you have to be honest with your money. About yourself, about your spouse, about any business partner you have to be totally honest. You can't say, oh, we have $100,000 when you only have $50,000. No. Even more with public companies, it's imperative. It is a requirement that you be totally honest with the public, with your investors, with yourself, with your books, because otherwise your business is not going to survive. It kills me that these people, someone like Bill Cosby, Bill Cosby at one point was the most famous person in the entire world. And yet he's doing all these shady things behind closed doors, as if nobody's going to find out, as if the most famous, someone's not going to say, I know you, or try and put you on the spot and reveal all the stuff you've been doing behind closed doors. It's like, no. It's like, you can't do that. You have to be radically honest with the public, with yourself. And that can be tough. It takes practice. And, you know, maybe you have to have a coach. Maybe you have a team. That's why you have accountability partners, especially in a public company. You have people that are going to keep you honest, that are going to check and double check. And, you know, in your own personal life, that's why you have a partner. That's why you have to get really honest about, you know, what you feel about things, what is on your mind, what are you thinking, and then what is your actual situation. If you're in debt, you have to actually face that debt. That's the very first step, is before you get out of debt, you have to actually look at it and say, where am I? And then start paying on it and actually take action and make a plan. There's a difference. I think sometimes people get caught up in the cheerleading aspect. You always want to be a cheerleader for yourself and for what you're doing, and think about yourself as the best. I just watched an interview with DJ Khaled. I love DJ Khaled. He was talking about how he says, we the best in the mirror every day when he wakes up and gets out of bed and goes to work. And that's how you have to look at yourself. You have to look at yourself as you are the best. You are your number one fan. Nobody is going to love you more than yourself. Maybe besides your parents, but you should love yourself the most. You have to be your number one cheerleader. Same for your business. If you have a business, if you have a passion, you have to say, I'm great and this is great because I'm doing it. But there's a difference between cheerleading and radical honesty. You want a cheerleader champion. That was, I think, the greatest thing that I learned from Apple, was that Apple is such a great cheerleader of their products, of their mission, of their vision of the world. And we can do that too. You and me, politicians do that with, getting people out to vote. They want to see a certain world, and they paint a picture of that world that they want you to vote for. But you can't live in a fantasy land. You can't just bury your head and say that coronavirus is not happening and that these people really aren't dying and that, it's all just a fantasy. It's not a fantasy. It's happening. You have to face reality. You have to face what is right in front of you, what you are seeing. So that's why you want to do both. You have to do a balance. You have to be honest with what you have and where you're going, and then you can cheerlead what you're doing, where you are going, what you hope to achieve, and you can do both. So I hope that you do that, and I hope that this was interesting. I'm Colin, and this is Harness Money, and let's go reach financial independence together.